Listen to me. Right now, you're standing on the edge of your breaking point. You're exhausted, disappointed, and ready to walk away. But this is the exact moment that defines who you become next. Anyone can move forward when it's easy. Only the strong continue when it hurts. This audiobook is not about feeling better. It's about building the kind of mind that refuses to quit no matter how dark it gets. Because quitting doesn't end the pain. It guarantees regret. So don't you dare stop here. Let's rebuild your strength, one thought at a time.
Chapter 1. Stop waiting to feel ready. You keep waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right feeling. You tell yourself, when I'm ready, I'll start. But here's the truth. You'll never feel ready. Not tomorrow, not next week, not ever. Readiness is a myth. It's a lie your mind tells you to stay safe. It's the story you tell yourself to justify hesitation. You think you're waiting for clarity. You think you're waiting for confidence. But what you're really doing is hiding from the discomfort of action. And you need to stop now. You have a choice. You can keep waiting for the perfect plan, or you can move before the plan exists. You can keep analyzing, overthinking, and doubting, or you can act anyway. Move now, think later, act anyway. That's the key. Because readiness doesn't come first. Action comes first. Confidence comes second. Do you think the strongest people started confident? Do you think they waited for fear to disappear? No, they moved through fear. They acted in uncertainty, and that's why they became strong. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you earn by doing the thing you don't feel ready for. Every time you take action while scared, you build a little more belief. Every time you move before the feeling arrives, you rewire your mind. You stop being a thinker and you start being a doer. You stop being the person who talks about change and you become the person who creates it. That's transformation. Let me tell you the truth about success. It's built on motion, not motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but motion creates momentum, and momentum destroys doubt. You don't need motivation, you need movement. You don't need permission, you need decision. You don't need more time, you need to start. Every day you wait, the gap grows wider. Every day you hesitate, someone else moves. Someone else takes your opportunity because they didn't need to feel ready, they just went. You're not lacking potential, you're lacking courage. You're lacking the willingness to move without a guarantee. And that's what readiness really means, a guarantee. You want to know it'll work. You want to know you won't fail. But that's not how life rewards you. Life rewards the one who moves first, not the one who waits for certainty. Move now, think later, act anyway. Say it again to yourself. Move now, think later, act anyway. If you keep waiting for the feeling, you'll wait your whole life. Because readiness never comes wrapped in comfort. It comes disguised as fear, doubt, and hesitation. The difference between winners and quitters is not talent, it's tolerance. Winners tolerate discomfort. They don't run from uncertainty, they walk straight into it. They understand something you need to learn today. Readiness is a decision, not an emotion. When you choose to move before you're ready, you separate yourself from 99% of people. Most will spend their lives planning, preparing, and procrastinating. They'll mistake thinking for progress. But not you, not anymore. Because now you know the truth. Clarity is created, not discovered. You act first, then the path reveals itself. You move first, then the next step appears. That's how warriors operate. That's how leaders rise. That's how purpose is built, one step at a time, without permission, without certainty. Let's get practical. If there's something you've been delaying, start it today. Not tomorrow, not when it feels right. Today. You don't need the full plan. You just need the first step. Start the workout, write the paragraph, make the call, send the message. Take the smallest possible action, because once you start moving, momentum will carry you forward. Don't wait for clarity. Clarity is created from motion. You can't think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. And when fear shows up, good. Fear means you're alive. Fear means you're growing. Fear means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Say it out loud. I don't need to feel ready. I just need to move. Because every time you take action in fear, you weaken fear's control. Every time you move forward without certainty, you become more certain of yourself. That's growth. That's resilience. That's leadership. Most people wait their whole lives for the perfect moment and die waiting. But not you. You're done waiting. You're done preparing to prepare. You've got work to do. You've got dreams to chase, and those dreams don't care how you feel. The world doesn't wait for the ready. It rewards the relentless. So stop asking, "Am I ready?" Start saying, "I'll find out." Because that's what this is all about. Not feeling ready, but being willing to find out. You have a choice. You can stay where it's safe and predictable, or you can step forward into the unknown and discover who you really are. The people who change the world aren't fearless. They just move anyway. The people who rise from nothing aren't ready. They just refuse to wait. Move now, think later, act anyway. That's the code. That's the mindset. That's the mission. You've just taken the first step toward unbreakable resilience, the decision to move without certainty. You're no longer waiting to feel ready. You're becoming the kind of person who creates readiness through action. You mastered hesitation. You learned how to turn doubt into motion. And that's how it begins. One decisive act done before you believe, repeated until belief becomes natural. You stopped waiting to feel ready. Now let's go deeper. You've learned how to move through hesitation. Now it's time to learn how to move through pain. Because pain will come next, and it will test everything you've built. Chapter 2. Pain is not a sign to quit. You're feeling it again, aren't you? The ache, the exhaustion, the doubt. You've been pushing, grinding, showing up, but nothing seems to move. And now the pain is louder than your progress. That's the moment where most people stop. That's the moment where dreams die. But not you, not this time. Because pain isn't a signal to quit. It's the invitation to grow. It's the threshold between the person you were and the person you're becoming. You have a choice. You can interpret pain as punishment or proof. Proof that you're stretching beyond your limits. Proof that you're still in the fight. proof that something inside you is changing. That's the key. Pain doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to test what you've built, to reveal whether your commitment is real or conditional. Conditional effort says, I'll do this as long as it's easy. True discipline says, I'll do this especially when it's hard. That's the difference between potential and power, between talking about strength and becoming strong. You think you're suffering because you're weak. No, you're suffering because you're growing. Growth hurts. Transformation burns. Muscles tear before they strengthen. Habits break before they rebuild. Minds crack before they expand. The pain you feel right now is not the end, it's the process. You want the new version of yourself? Then you must be willing to outlast the pain that protects it. Every time you endure, you evolve. Every time you stay in the discomfort, you rise. Every time you refuse to quit, you build something unshakable inside you. You don't need less pain, you need more patience. You don't need comfort, you need clarity. You don't need relief, you need resilience. Say it. Pain is not a sign to quit. It's a signal to keep going. Let's be clear. Pain isn't the enemy. Running from it is. You can run from it your whole life through distraction, excuses, and shortcuts, but it will always find you again until you finally face it. So stop running. Stop trying to make life painless. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Because pain is a teacher, the most honest one you'll ever have. It strips you of ego. It forces you to confront truth. It teaches you humility, endurance, and perspective. Every great story begins with suffering. Every strong mind was forged in hardship. Every champion was built by pain, not avoided by it. You can't skip this part. You can't hack your way around the struggle. You earn strength by surviving what others run from. You have a choice. You can see pain as your punishment or as your preparation. That's the key. Pain will whisper that you're wasting your time, that you're not progressing, that maybe it's not meant for you. Ignore it. That voice is fear pretending to be logic. That's doubt wearing a disguise, and you've listened to it too long. Every time you stopped before the finish line, that voice won. Every time you backed off when it hurt, that voice grew stronger. But this time, you fight back. This time, you stay. This time, you outlast the discomfort until the lesson appears. Because pain always reveals something, a weakness, a blind spot, a pattern. If you quit too early, you miss the message. Stay in it long enough to understand it. Then use it. Build with it. Pain is raw material. It's fuel, it's data, it's feedback. It's not the end of your progress, it's the evidence of it. Remember, the gym doesn't make you stronger. The resistance does. The weight that hurts you is the weight that builds you. The struggle you avoid is the same one that would have saved you. You have to learn to say this with conviction. I can handle this. Even when you don't feel it. Even when you're shaking, exhausted, and ready to give up. Say it anyway. Because strength isn't what you feel, it's what you decide. You decide to keep showing up. You decide to keep breathing through the burn. You decide to finish what you started. That's what unbreakable people do. They keep moving while it hurts. They stay calm when everything screams quit. They understand that pain is not permanent, but quitting is. Look back for a moment. Think about every storm you've already survived, every dark season you thought you wouldn't get through, but you did. That's proof. You've built proof of your endurance. So why doubt it now? Why question your ability to rise again? You've done it before. You'll do it again. Because pain didn't end you last time. It trained you. You didn't break. You bent. You stretched. You learned. And that's how growth feels. Like breaking, but it's not. This is your reminder. The pain you're feeling now is temporary. The strength it builds will last forever. So the next time you feel it, the weight, the doubt, the frustration, don't run. Don't look for a way out. Don't tell yourself it's a sign to stop. Instead, say this: this is the test. This is where I build the next version of me. Because it is. Pain is the gatekeeper between average and exceptional. Most people turn around at the gate. You won't. You'll walk through it. You'll bleed through it. You'll rise through it. And one day, you'll look back and realize that pain was the moment everything changed. You faced the truth. Pain is not a sign to quit. It's the proof that you're in the right place, the growth zone, not the comfort zone. You've learned to stop running from it, to listen to it, to use it. And now you're ready for the next level. Because after you face pain, something else begins to fade. The illusion that someone will save you. You've endured the test. Now it's time to take ownership of the battle. You faced the pain. Now face the truth. Nobody's coming to save you.
Chapter 3. Nobody's coming to save you. You've been waiting. Waiting for someone to notice you. Waiting for someone to step in. Waiting for someone to make your life easier. Stop. Nobody's coming. Not your friends. Not your family. Not your boss. Not your government. The world doesn't owe you rescue. The universe doesn't pause to hand you a solution. Your problems will not magically disappear because you hope they will. You have a choice. You can keep waiting, wishing, hoping, or you can stand up and take control. That's the key. Most people never succeed because they expect rescue. They expect someone else to make it happen. They expect validation, permission, or luck to save them. But that's not reality. Reality rewards action, not expectation. Reality respects courage, not complaints. Reality bows to those who take responsibility, not those who wait for it. You don't need anyone's permission to start. You don't need a green light. You don't need a guarantee. You just need to decide. Decide to act. Decide to endure. Decide to rise. Look around you. Everyone who's successful, every entrepreneur, every athlete, every leader was left to figure it out at some point. They weren't handed success on a silver plate. They were thrown into uncertainty and told to swim. And they did. The same is true for you. You can wait for help, or you can help yourself. You can wait for a sign, or you can make one. You can wait for courage, or you can create it. The power to change your life has always been in your hands. It just requires one thing: willingness. You have a choice. You can remain passive and hope the world rescues you. Or you can become the person the world can't ignore. That's the difference between the average and the unstoppable. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the decision to act when no one is watching. Let me break it down for you. Stop waiting for validation. You think someone has to approve your efforts to start moving. Stop. You don't need their permission. You don't need their praise. You don't need anyone's approval. The only permission you need is the one you give yourself. Stop hoping someone will save you. This is tough to hear, but it's true.
Nobody is coming. Your life won't be fixed by chance encounters or sudden opportunities. You fix it yourself. You climb. You fight. You do the work while the world sleeps. Start taking ownership. Responsibility isn't comfortable. It isn't easy, but it's necessary. When you own your problems, you gain control. When you own your actions, you gain power. Remember this, you have a choice. You always have a choice. Excuses are illusions. Waiting for someone else is weakness. Blaming circumstances is surrender. You can't move forward while holding on to them. Action is your medicine. Responsibility is your armor. Decision is your weapon. Say it aloud. Nobody's coming to save me. I will save myself. Repeat it. Repeat it every time fear or doubt creeps in, because that statement changes everything. It changes how you see problems. It changes how you respond to setbacks. It changes who you become. Think about the opportunities you've already lost. How many times did you wait for someone else to act? How many times did you hesitate, hoping for guidance, advice, or help that never came? Those moments are gone. You can't get them back, but you can decide right now, from this moment forward, that you will no longer wait. This is not about arrogance. It's not about isolation. It's about agency. The power to move, the power to endure, the power to succeed lies in your hands, not anyone else's. It's not about friends, mentors, or networks. It's about discipline, focus, and relentless effort. You take care of yourself first, and everything else follows. Real life is relentless. It doesn't pause for your convenience. It doesn't bend to your feelings. It doesn't wait until you feel ready or have support. You want results? You want change? You want success? You have to take it. You have to fight for it. You have to work for it when nobody notices. That's the price of freedom. That's the cost of independence. That's the path to mastery. Here's a practical exercise. Every morning ask yourself, what am I responsible for today? Write it down, then execute without waiting for anyone to tell you to do it. Do this consistently, and you'll begin to feel power like you've never felt before. Because when you act without reliance on others, you stop being a victim. You stop being a bystander. You start being unstoppable. And it all begins with one truth. Nobody's coming to save you. You have a choice. You always have a choice. You can continue hoping and waiting, or you can act now in spite of fear. Here's the tough part. It will feel lonely. It will feel like you're carrying the weight alone. And you are. But that's exactly what makes you strong. The people who rely on others will always be weak. The people who depend on luck will always fail. The people who rise alone become unshakable. So embrace it. Own it. Let it fuel you. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. You don't need anyone's help, although allies may come later. Right now, you have yourself. That's enough. Remember this phrase and say it every day. I am responsible. I am capable. I am unstoppable. Say it when doubt creeps in. Say it when fear whispers. Say it when the pain of effort tempts you to quit. Because the moment you accept responsibility, you take control. The moment you stop waiting, you gain momentum. The moment you save yourself, the world cannot stop you. You have a choice. Every second, every moment, you have a choice. You choose action. You choose discipline. You choose resilience. Nobody's coming to save you. And that's the moment you realize you don't need them to. You face the truth. Your life is your responsibility. Your results are your responsibility. Your growth is your responsibility. No one will rescue you. No one will hand you victory. No one will step in to fight your battles. It's all on you. And that is liberating. Because once you accept it, you're free. You don't wait. You don't hope. You move. You fight. You conquer. You've mastered your dependence. Now it's time to master your discipline. Chapter 4. Discipline over emotion. Your emotions are lying to you. Right now, your mind is screaming excuses, telling you to rest, to delay, to quit. It's not truth. It's not reality. It's your survival instinct dressed as fear. And that's the problem. You've been letting emotion drive your decisions. You've been letting how you feel dictate what you do, and it's costing you more than you realize. Discipline is the antidote. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Discipline doesn't wait for motivation, inspiration, or mood. It acts regardless. It moves while the world sleeps. It conquers while the mind hesitates. You have a choice. Follow your feelings and remain a victim of circumstance, or follow discipline and become the architect of your life. That's the key. Let's be clear. Emotions are powerful. They can inspire you. They can guide you. They can teach you. But if you let them control you, you'll fail every time. Think about it. When you felt afraid, did you act? When you felt tired, did you push forward? When you felt discouraged, did you continue? Most people don't. Most people quit. Most people wait until they feel like doing it. And that's why most people stay average. You don't need to feel strong. You don't need to feel confident. You don't need to feel motivated. You need discipline. It's not about feeling ready. It's about doing what must be done, even when it hurts, even when it's uncomfortable, even when your mind screams no. Discipline over emotion. Repeat it. Discipline over emotion. This is the principle every successful person lives by. You will never rise above your feelings unless you commit to it. Here's how it works in practice. Step 1. Acknowledge the feeling. Don't obey it. You're angry. Fine. You're scared. Fine. You're frustrated. Fine. Notice it. Recognize it. But don't let it dictate your action. Step 2. Decide the action anyway. The workout still happens, the task still gets done, the call still gets made. You do it despite how you feel. Step 3. Repeat relentlessly. Discipline is built in repetition. Every act of doing what's necessary, even when you don't want to do it, strengthens the mind. You have a choice. Act or obey emotion. Act and you grow. Obey and you stagnate. Here's a hard truth. Discipline is uncomfortable. It's boring at times. It's repetitive. It's relentless. But that's exactly why it works. Comfort produces weakness. Discipline produces strength. You want results? Then endure. You want progress? Then sacrifice comfort. You want respect? Then command yourself first. You don't need motivation. You need action. You don't need inspiration. You need consistency. You don't need emotion. You need discipline. Say it. It's not about how I feel. It's about what I do. Let me give you an example. The athlete doesn't wait to feel pumped before training. The entrepreneur doesn't wait to feel confident before making the call. The artist doesn't wait to feel inspired before practicing their craft. They act every day, regardless of feelings. That's why they succeed. And that's why you can too. Your mind will resist. It will create excuses. It will invent comfort. It will tell you that today is different, that tomorrow will be better, that you deserve a break. Ignore it. Discipline is your response to that resistance. Discipline is the voice that says, I don't negotiate with excuses. Discipline is the hand that pulls you forward while your mind screams backward. You have a choice, every second, every moment, every day. You can obey the lie of emotion, or you can execute the truth of discipline. That's the key. Here's another truth most people avoid. Discipline is lonely. You will not be cheered. You will not be celebrated. You will not be rewarded immediately. But the rewards are real. Strength is real. Confidence is real. Results are real. Discipline over emotion builds invisible power, the kind no one can see at first, but eventually it becomes unstoppable. You show up when others quit. You push when others rest. You act when others hesitate. That's how winners are made. That's how lives change. That's how people like you break free from mediocrity. Practical exercise for you. Identify one task today that you don't feel like doing. Commit to doing it anyway. Complete it with 100% focus regardless of emotion. Do this consistently, and your mind will start to obey your discipline more than your feelings. Every time you practice this, you weaken your mind's excuses. Every time you choose action over emotion, you build momentum. Every time you do what's necessary despite discomfort, you redefine what's possible for yourself. Remember, discipline over emotion. Repeat it now. Repeat it until it becomes your instinct. Act before you feel. Push before you're ready. Endure before it's comfortable. It's not about motivation. It's not about mood. It's not about inspiration. It's about action. It's about commitment. It's about doing what must be done no matter what. And when you commit to discipline over emotion, everything changes. Fear loses its power. Doubt loses its control. Procrastination disappears. You become unstoppable. So today and every day, decide this. You will act despite how you feel. You will push despite resistance. You will persist despite discomfort. You have a choice. You always have a choice. Choose discipline. Choose action. Choose to dominate your mind, not obey it. You mastered waiting. You endured pain. Now you master your mind. Discipline over emotion. Say it, live it, repeat it. And once you master this, you're ready for the next level.
Chapter 5. The War Against Comfort. Comfort is your enemy. It hides in your routines. It disguises itself as safety. It whispers, "Relax, stay here, this is enough." And most people listen. They sit, they scroll, they postpone, they accept mediocrity because it's easy. But comfort kills. It destroys dreams. It suffocates potential. It robs you of the life you're capable of living. You have a choice. You can stay comfortable and remain average, or you can wage war against it and rise. That's the key. Here's the truth. Growth never happens in comfort. Strength never comes from ease. Excellence never emerges from convenience. Pain emerges, resistance emerges, discomfort emerges. And if you avoid it, you remain small. You have to embrace the struggle. You have to seek out the difficult tasks. You have to challenge yourself daily. You have a choice. You can stay soft, or you can forge resilience. Repeat it. Comfort is your enemy. Growth comes from discomfort. Let's get practical. Look at your life right now. How much of it is easy? How much of it is safe? Safe is boring. Safe is predictable. Safe is a slow death for your potential. The strongest people you admire aren't comfortable. The most disciplined people aren't cozy. The most successful people aren't soft. They're uncomfortable, constantly. They choose the path that hurts because they know it builds strength. You don't need easy. You need difficult. You don't need convenient. You need challenging. You don't need comfort. You need growth. You have a choice. Every single day. Comfort will attack you quietly. It will tempt you to stop early. It will trick you into believing the easy route is enough. Don't believe it. The voice in your head that says, "It's okay to rest," it's lying. The voice that says, "Tomorrow will be easier," it's lying. The voice that says, "You deserve a break," it's lying. Discipline is louder. Action is louder. Growth is louder. You have a choice. You can obey comfort and remain small, or you can obey growth and become unstoppable. Repeat, I choose growth over comfort. I choose action over ease. Here's a strategy. Step 1. Identify comfort zones. Where are you soft? Where do you avoid discomfort? Be honest. Step 2. Attack them deliberately. Do the hard workout. Make the tough call. Face the conversation you've been avoiding. Challenge yourself to do what others won't. Step 3. Repeat daily. This is not a one-time effort. This is a lifestyle. The war against comfort is fought every day in every small decision. You have a choice. Every decision is a battlefield. Every act of ease is a surrender. Every act of discomfort is a victory. Real transformation is invisible at first. No one notices the early sacrifices. No one cheers the small victories. No one applauds the daily discipline. And that's exactly why it works. Comfort is loud and distracting. Discipline is silent and invisible. The world rewards what is consistent, not what is convenient. You have to train yourself to love the grind, to crave the challenge, to embrace discomfort. Every time you choose comfort, you delay success. Every time you resist comfort, you accelerate growth. You have a choice. It's not easy. It's not fun, but it is necessary. Repeat it. Growth comes from discomfort. Comfort is my enemy. Think about your idols, the athletes who dominate, the entrepreneurs who scale empires, the thinkers who shaped the world. None of them stayed comfortable. They embraced early mornings. They endured pain. They chose the hard road. And that's why they're exceptional. That's why they stand out. That's why they inspire. You can do the same. You can step into discomfort instead of running from it. You can fight the urge to settle. You can refuse to accept mediocrity. You have a choice, and every day you ignore comfort, you strengthen yourself. Here's another practical approach. Identify one thing you've been avoiding because it's uncomfortable. Commit to doing it today, fully, without excuses. Reflect after completing it.
Notice the growth, the resilience, the confidence. Do this daily. Discomfort becomes your ally. Ease becomes your enemy. Say it. I choose discomfort. I reject ease. I embrace growth. Remember, comfort is seductive. It whispers, it tempts, it lulls you into inaction. You must fight it relentlessly. You must reject its lies. You must act even when it's easier not to. Because every moment you resist comfort, you redefine what's possible. Every challenge you face makes you stronger. Every act of discipline over ease builds your character. You have a choice, and it's always the same: comfort or growth. Choose growth. Choose struggle. Choose to be better than your excuses. You've resisted hesitation. You've endured pain. You've taken responsibility. Now, it's time to dominate your comfort zones.
Chapter 6. Your mind is a weapon. Sharpen it. Your mind is your most dangerous weapon. Your mind is your greatest ally. Your mind is the one tool that can build empires or destroy everything you've worked for. Yet most people treat it like a toy. They feed it distractions. They allow it to wander. They obey every impulse, fear, and fleeting emotion. That stops today. You have a choice. You can let your mind control you and remain average. Or you can sharpen it and become unstoppable. That's the key. The strongest people in the world are not the ones with the biggest muscles. They are the ones with the sharpest minds. The ones who can endure discomfort, think clearly under pressure, and see opportunities where others see obstacles. Your mind is like a sword. If you leave it dull, it won't cut. If you leave it untrained, it will fail you when you need it most. If you leave it unguarded, it will betray you with doubt, fear, and indecision. Sharpen it. Hone it. Master it. You have a choice. Use your mind as your weapon, or let it be your cage. Here's how you sharpen your mind. Step 1. Control your thoughts. Your mind will generate thousands of thoughts every hour. Most of them are useless, negative, or destructive. You have a choice. You can follow them and spiral into doubt, fear, and procrastination. Or you can observe them, redirect them, and choose the ones that serve your purpose. Repeat, I control my thoughts. My thoughts do not control me. Step 2. Feed it carefully. What you consume shapes your mind. Books, conversations, media, and habits, they either sharpen or dull you. Stop feeding distraction. Stop feeding excuses. Stop feeding fear. Feed knowledge. Feed discipline. Feed strategy. Step 3. Train it daily. Like a muscle, your mind grows stronger with resistance. Meditate, focus, reflect, strategize, solve problems deliberately. Each time you push through mental discomfort, you strengthen the weapon you carry inside your skull. The world is full of people who are busy, but not sharp. They move, but they don't think. They act, but they don't plan. They work, but they don't grow. Don't be one of them. You have a choice. You can remain dull and reactive, or you can become calculated and relentless. Sharpen your mind. Control your thoughts. Focus your energy. That's how battles are won, not by luck, not by chance, but by clarity and precision. Think about fear. Fear lives in the mind. It convinces you to quit, to delay, to compromise. But fear is powerless when your mind is sharp. When you control your mind, you control fear. Think about doubt. Doubt exists only because the mind is untrained. Doubt disappears when you focus, analyze, and act with discipline. You have a choice. You can let fear rule your decisions, or you can wield your mind like a weapon, precise, deadly, unstoppable. Repeat, I sharpen my mind. I control my thoughts. I act with clarity. Here's a practical exercise. Every morning, before the day begins, write down the one major problem or challenge you will conquer today. Visualize yourself overcoming it with calm, strategy, and persistence. Repeat a mental mantra. I am sharper than the challenge. I am stronger than fear. I am unstoppable. Do this daily. Every time you execute, you sharpen your mental edge. Every time you think deliberately, you strengthen the weapon you carry inside your skull. The world is full of people who are busy, but not sharp. They move, but they don't think. They act, but they don't plan. They work, but they don't grow. Don't be one of them. You have a choice. You can remain dull and reactive, or you can become calculated and relentless. Sharpen your mind. Control your thoughts. Focus your energy. That's how battles are won, not by luck, not by chance, but by clarity and precision. Think about fear. Fear lives in the mind. It convinces you to quit, to delay, to compromise. But fear is powerless when your mind is sharp. When you control your mind, you control fear. Think about doubt. Doubt exists only because the mind is untrained. Doubt disappears when you focus, analyze, and act with discipline. You have a choice. You can let fear rule your decisions, or you can wield your mind like a weapon, precise, deadly, unstoppable. Repeat, I sharpen my mind. I control my thoughts. I act with clarity. Here's a practical exercise. Every morning, before the day begins, write down the one major problem or challenge you will conquer today. Visualize yourself overcoming it with calm, strategy, and persistence. Repeat a mental mantra. I am sharper than the challenge. I am stronger than fear. I am unstoppable. Do this daily. Every time you execute, you sharpen your mental edge. Every time you think deliberately, you strengthen the weapon you carry inside your skull. The world is full of people who are busy, but not sharp. They move, but they don't think. They act, but they don't plan. They work, but they don't grow. Don't be one of them. You have a choice. You can remain dull and reactive, or you can become calculated and relentless. Sharpen your mind. Control your thoughts. Focus your energy. That's how battles are won, not by luck, not by chance, but by clarity and precision. Think about fear. Fear lives in the mind. It convinces you to quit, to delay, to compromise. But fear is powerless when your mind is sharp. When you control your mind, you control fear. Think about doubt. Doubt exists only because the mind is untrained. Doubt disappears when you focus, analyze, and act with discipline. You have a choice. You can let fear rule your decisions, or you can wield your mind like a weapon, precise, deadly, unstoppable. Repeat, I sharpen my mind. I control my thoughts. I act with clarity. Here's a practical exercise. Every morning, before the day begins, write down the one major problem or challenge you will conquer today. Visualize yourself overcoming it with calm, strategy, and persistence. Repeat a mental mantra. I am sharper than the challenge. I am stronger than fear. I am unstoppable. Do this daily. Every time you execute, you sharpen your mental edge. Every time you think deliberately, you strengthen the weapon you carry inside your skull. The world is full of people who are busy, but not sharp. They move, but they don't think. They act, but they don't plan. They work, but they don't grow. Don't be one of them. You have a choice. You can remain dull and reactive, or you can become calculated and relentless. Sharpen your mind. Control your thoughts. Focus your energy. That's how battles are won, not by luck, not by chance, but by clarity and precision. Think about fear. Fear lives in the mind. It convinces you to quit, to delay, to compromise. But fear is powerless when your mind is sharp. When you control your mind, you control fear. Think about doubt. Doubt exists only because the mind is untrained. Doubt disappears when you focus, analyze, and act with discipline. You have a choice. You can let fear rule your decisions, or you can wield your mind like a weapon, precise, deadly, unstoppable. Repeat, I sharpen my mind. I control my thoughts. I act with clarity. Here's a practical exercise. Every morning, before the day begins, write down the one major problem or challenge you will conquer today. Visualize yourself overcoming it with calm, strategy, and persistence. Repeat a mental mantra. I am sharper than the challenge. I am stronger than fear. I am unstoppable. Do this daily. Every time you execute, you sharpen your mental edge. Every time you think deliberately, you strengthen the weapon you carry inside your skull. The world is full of people who are busy, but not sharp. They move, but they don't think. They act, but they don't plan. They work, but they don't grow. Don't be one of them.
Chapter 7. Stop needing approval. You're still seeking it, aren't you? That nod, that compliment, that recognition, that tiny signal that says, you're doing well. Stop. Nobody owes you approval. Nobody is required to validate your choices. Nobody is required to notice your effort. Yet most people live their lives chasing approval. They edit their actions, their words, their dreams to please others. They shrink themselves to fit into someone else's expectations. And that's why they never rise. That's why they remain average. That's why they never realize their potential. You have a choice. You can keep living for the applause of others, or you can live for your own standards, your own discipline, your own growth. That's the key. Approval is temporary. Praise is fleeting. Recognition fades. What lasts is your discipline, your consistency, your mastery. You don't need to be liked. You don't need to be praised. You don't need to be understood. You need to be relentless. Repeat it. I don't need approval. I act for myself. I succeed for myself. Here's the hard truth. Seeking approval is a trap. When you rely on others for validation, you surrender control. You let their moods dictate your decisions. You let their opinions define your worth. And that is weakness. The strong are not defined by how many people like them. The strong are defined by how consistent they are, by how disciplined they are, by how unstoppable they are. You have a choice: approval or autonomy, popularity or power, acceptance or growth. Choose growth. Choose autonomy. Choose power. Think about the people you admire. Do they ask for permission before acting? Do they wait for compliments before pushing forward? Do they shrink themselves to fit expectations? No. They act first. They lead without asking. They execute without waiting for a nod. And that's why they succeed. because they live by their own standards, not the standards of someone else. You can do the same, but only if you stop seeking approval, only if you stop living for the applause, only if you act regardless of what anyone thinks. You have a choice, and it starts with one thought. I don't need permission. I don't need approval. I act anyway. Here's a practical exercise. Every day, identify one action you've been avoiding because you wanted someone's approval. Do it today. Do it fully. Do it without seeking recognition. Notice how it feels. Notice how liberating it is when you stop depending on others' validation. Approval is a crutch. Autonomy is power. Independence is freedom. Repeat, I act for myself. I trust my judgment. I don't need approval. The truth is, most people will never approve of you. They will criticize, they will doubt, they will ignore. And that's okay, because their opinion doesn't define you. Your actions define you. Your results define you. Your discipline define you. You have a choice. You can live to please others, or you can live to prove yourself to yourself. That's the key. Your standards matter more than their opinions. Your consistency matters more than their praise. Your growth matters more than their acceptance. Another hard truth: approval is a weakness disguised as comfort. It's easier to seek recognition than to act independently. It's easier to conform than to lead. It's easier to follow than to push forward on your own path. But easier is never better. Comfort is never growth. Approval is never power. The strong do what must be done, whether anyone notices or not. The strong execute their plan even if the world criticizes. The strong remain disciplined regardless of applause. You have a choice. Choose strength over comfort. Choose discipline over applause. Choose autonomy over approval. Practical strategy. Identify an area of your life where you're seeking validation. Take full control of that area today. Make the decision yourself. Complete the action without telling anyone or expecting praise. Repeat daily. Your confidence grows. Your independence strengthens. Your power multiplies. Say it out loud. I am not defined by approval. I act regardless of praise. Most people live trapped in others' opinions. Most people are controlled by their social environment. Most people are weak because they cannot act alone. Not you. You've endured hesitation. You've survived pain. You've taken responsibility. You've resisted comfort. You've sharpened your mind. Now you reject approval. This is how leaders are born. This is how unstoppable people operate. This is how you become someone no one can manipulate, control, or limit. You have a choice. You always have a choice. And today, you choose freedom. Today, you choose autonomy. Today, you act without approval. Repeat it, memorize it, live it. I don't need approval. I act for myself. I trust my judgment. I succeed on my own terms. Because the moment you stop needing approval, something powerful happens. Your focus sharpens. Your energy multiplies. Your results accelerate. You've mastered waiting. You've endured pain. You've taken responsibility. You've resisted comfort. You've sharpened your mind. Now you conquer influence. Now you act without approval.
Chapter 8: The Power of Consistency. Consistency is your secret weapon. It's invisible. It's boring. It's relentless. Yet it separates the mediocre from the extraordinary. It separates those who talk from those who do. It separates potential from results. Most people fail not because they lack talent. Most people fail not because they lack knowledge. Most people fail because they are inconsistent. You have a choice. You can act sporadically and achieve sporadic results, or you can act consistently and become unstoppable. That's the key. Consistency is not glamorous. It doesn't produce instant gratification. It doesn't give applause, likes, or praise. It gives results. It gives mastery. It gives freedom. Every action, repeated day after day, compounds. Every effort, sustained over time, grows. Every small decision, executed consistently, creates momentum. You have a choice. You can rely on bursts of energy, motivation, or emotion, or you can rely on consistency. Repeat it. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats motivation. Consistency wins. Here's the harsh truth. Action without consistency is wasted. You work hard for a week. You give up the next. You start again. You quit again. Nothing changes. Results vanish. Potential fades. Consistency is the bridge between desire and results. Consistency is the key to mastery. Consistency is the quiet engine behind every success story. You have a choice. You can drift, or you can commit. Think about it. The athlete who trains every day, rain or shine, wins. The entrepreneur who works consistently, regardless of motivation, builds an empire. The writer who writes daily, even when uninspired, creates a masterpiece. It's not talent alone. It's not luck alone. It's not passion alone. It's consistency. Say it aloud. I am consistent. I act daily. I build relentlessly. Here's how to practice consistency. Identify one key area of your life that drives results. Decide on one action you will do every day in that area. Do it every single day. No excuses, no breaks, no negotiation. Repeat, repeat, repeat. The power is in the repetition. The results are in the persistence. The transformation is in the daily execution. You have a choice: consistency or chaos, persistence or regret, action or stagnation. Choose consistency. Choose growth. Choose momentum. Here's a mental trick. Focus on showing up, not on feeling motivated. Motivation is fleeting. Emotion is unreliable. Energy ebbs and flows. Consistency is constant. It doesn't depend on how you feel. It doesn't depend on luck, inspiration, or praise. It depends on one thing: your decision. Decide daily. Decide every morning. Decide every night. Decide to show up. Decide to act. Decide to move forward relentlessly without excuses. Repeat. I decide to act consistently. I decide to win every day. Consistency compounds quietly. No one notices the daily workout, the daily writing, the daily call, the daily discipline. No one sees the small effort repeated thousands of times. But results notice, success notices, life notices, and eventually the world cannot ignore it. You have a choice. You can chase bursts of effort, waiting for recognition, reward, or applause, or you can build quietly, relentlessly, and consistently until the results speak for themselves. Let me break it down. Step 1. Track your actions. Write down what you do every day. See it, own it, measure it. Step 2.
Prioritize the high-impact actions. Focus on the few things that move the needle. Consistency in small, important actions beats sporadic effort in many small, unimportant actions. Step 3. Eliminate excuses. Don't negotiate with laziness, fatigue, or distraction. Do the action anyway, even when it's hard. Repeat, I am relentless. I am consistent. I build daily. Think about your goals. They are not achieved by random bursts of effort. They are not achieved by occasional discipline. They are not achieved by waiting for perfect conditions. They are achieved by daily, relentless action, by showing up even when it's hard, by performing consistently regardless of mood or circumstance. You have a choice. You can remain inconsistent and remain frustrated. Or you can embrace the quiet power of consistency and dominate your life. Here's another exercise. Pick one goal. Break it into small daily actions. Commit to doing them every day for the next 30 days. No exceptions, no excuses, no compromise. Watch how your life changes. Watch how your confidence grows. Watch how your results accelerate. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not loud. It's not exciting. But it is unstoppable. It is inevitable. It is life-changing. Repeat, consistency is my weapon. I use it daily. I win quietly, relentlessly, and completely. Most people fail because they give up too soon. The first week is easy. The first month is manageable. The first year is the real test. Consistency is a war of endurance. It's not about speed. It's not about talent. It's about showing up every day without fail. You have a choice. You can quit when it gets boring, or you can persist and dominate. Repeat it. I persist. I am consistent. I do not quit. You've mastered waiting. You've endured pain. You've taken responsibility. You've resisted comfort. You've sharpened your mind. You've acted without approval. Now you master the quiet power of consistency. Daily action, daily effort, daily discipline. This is the engine behind every victory. This is the force that makes you unstoppable.
Chapter 9. Control your time or be controlled. Time is your most valuable resource. Your life is measured in it. Your results are dictated by it. Yet most people give it away. They let distractions rule them. They let their phones, social media, and other people dictate their schedule. They are slaves to urgency, convenience, and habit. Stop. You have a choice. You can control your time and dominate your life. Or you can let time control you and watch your potential slip away. That's the key. Here's the truth. Everyone has the same 24 hours. The difference between success and failure is not luck, talent, or opportunity. It is how you use your time. Waste it, and nothing changes. Use it wisely, and everything changes. You have a choice. Control it or surrender it. Repeat, I control my time. My time is my weapon. I use it deliberately. Think about your day. How much of it is spent reacting rather than acting? How much of it is spent scrolling, waiting, or procrastinating? How much of it is wasted on things that don't move the needle? The world will always demand your attention. It will always compete for your energy. It will always try to steal your focus. You have a choice. You can allow it, or you can command it. Command your time, and you command your life. Here's how you take control. Step 1. Prioritize ruthlessly. Not everything is important. Not everything deserves your energy. Identify the tasks that create the biggest results and do them first. Everything else is noise. Step 2. Protect your focus. Turn off distractions. Set boundaries. Decide when you work, when you rest, and when you act. Your time is your responsibility. Guard it like a weapon. Step 3. Schedule every hour. Plan your day in advance. Know exactly what you will do and when you will do it. Execution is easier when your time is organized. Repeat, I schedule my time. I guard my focus. I act deliberately. Most people think time management is about efficiency. It's not. It's about control. Control over your energy. Control over your focus. Control over your life. Without control, you react. Without control, you follow. Without control, you are a victim. With control, you lead. With control, you dominate. With control, you create results. You have a choice. You can lead your time or be led by it. Let's get practical. Every morning, ask, what are the 3 most important things I must accomplish today? Do those first. No excuses, no delays. Everything else can wait. Then identify time wasters, social media scrolling, endless emails, unnecessary meetings. Eliminate them, block them, take your power back. Repeat, I control my time, I act on priorities, I eliminate distraction. Here's another truth most people avoid. Your energy follows your focus. If your attention is scattered, your results are scattered. If your focus is focused, your results multiply. Time alone is not enough. Focus is the multiplier. Discipline is the accelerator. Control your time, control your focus, control your life. You have a choice, and it's always the same. Take command or be a passenger. Practical exercise. Write down your top 3 priorities for the week. Break them into daily actions. Protect blocks of time to execute them without interruption. Do this consistently. Your productivity will skyrocket. Your control over life will increase. Your results will multiply. Repeat aloud. I decide how I spend my time. I am not a victim of distraction. I am in command. Here's the hard truth. People who waste their time are always chasing other schedules. They are reactive, anxious, and frustrated. They are tired, overwhelmed, and stuck. People who control their time are always ahead. They are proactive, confident, and relentless. They are disciplined, powerful, and unstoppable. You have a choice. Surrender your hours or dominate them. Every day you waste is a day you will never get back. Every distraction you indulge is momentum you will lose. Every hour you surrender is power you give away. And no one will return it to you. No one will rescue you from wasted time. No one will make it up for you tomorrow. You have a choice. Act now. Act deliberately. Act consistently. Repeat. Time is my weapon. I guard it. I control it. I use it to win. Think about your goals. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not talent or luck. It's the hours you've spent intentionally and the hours you've wasted unconsciously. Control your time and you control your results. Control your time and you control your life.
Control your time, and no one can stop you. You've mastered waiting. You've endured pain. You've taken responsibility. You've resisted comfort. You've sharpened your mind. You've acted without approval. You've been consistent. Now you master your most valuable resource, your time. Control it, protect it, use it relentlessly.
Chapter 10. You are unstoppable. No excuses. This is it. This is your moment. This is where excuses end and results begin. No one will give it to you. No one will hand it over. No one will make it easy. You are unstoppable, not because someone believes in you, not because circumstances are perfect, not because life is fair. You are unstoppable because you decide to be. You are unstoppable because you take responsibility. You are unstoppable because you refuse to quit. That's the key. Let's review everything you've mastered so far. You stopped waiting to feel ready. You endured pain instead of quitting. You saved yourself instead of waiting for rescue. You chose discipline over emotion. You fought against comfort. You sharpened your mind. You stopped needing approval. You acted consistently. You controlled your time. Now, it all comes together. You are unstoppable. You have the tools. You have the mindset. You have the focus. All that remains is action. Excuses are the only thing standing between you and success. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'm not ready. I need approval. All lies, all distractions, all ways your mind tries to protect you from discomfort, challenge, and growth. You have a choice. You can obey excuses, or you can crush them. Repeat. No excuses. I act. I move. I conquer. Here's the truth most people avoid. Life will not wait for you. Opportunities will not pause. Challenges will not slow down. Time will not wait. You will either act now or be left behind. You have a choice. You can move with courage and discipline, or you can remain trapped in hesitation and comfort. The unstoppable choose action. The unstoppable choose consistency. The unstoppable choose discipline over emotion. The unstoppable conquer excuses before they even arise. You can be unstoppable. You already have the tools. You just have to use them. Practical strategy for becoming unstoppable. Daily action. Execute your top priorities every day without fail. Mental mastery. Control your thoughts. Sharpen your mind. Ignore fear. No approval needed. Act independently. Trust your judgment and stop seeking validation. Relentless discipline. Follow through even when it hurts, even when it's boring, even when nobody is watching. Time domination. Guard your time like a weapon. Focus on what produces results. Every step, repeated daily, compounds. Every choice to act, despite fear, compounds. Every refusal to obey excuses compounds. That's how ordinary people become unstoppable. That's how your life transforms. Think about this. The only difference between you and someone you admire is action. The only difference between failure and success is choice. The only difference between ordinary and unstoppable is discipline, consistency, and refusal to surrender to excuses. You have a choice, and it's the same choice every day. Act or wait. Move or stay stuck. Execute or quit. You already know the right path.
You already have the tools. You already have the mindset. The only thing left is execution. Here's the final exercise. Every morning declare, I am unstoppable. I will act. I will not quit. I will not allow excuses. Every evening reflect. What did I do today to be unstoppable? Did I act despite discomfort? Did I ignore excuses? Did I control my time, my mind, and my actions? Do this daily. Do this relentlessly. Do this without compromise. You are unstoppable, not because it's easy, not because it's comfortable, not because the world approves. You are unstoppable because you decide to be, because you act, because you endure, because you refuse to quit. Repeat aloud, I am unstoppable. I act, I endure, I succeed. No excuses. Remember this. You've mastered waiting. You've endured pain. You've taken responsibility. You've resisted comfort. You've sharpened your mind. You've stopped needing approval. You've acted consistently. You've controlled your time. Now, nothing can stop you. Not fear, not doubt, not criticism, not distraction. You are the unstoppable force in your own life. You are the architect of your destiny. You are the master of your results. No one will do it for you. No one will rescue you. No one will approve. You have a choice. You have power. You have discipline. Use it.
You've made it through the storm, not because it got easier, but because you refused to break. Every moment you felt weak, every time you wanted to stop, you proved you had more inside you than you believed. Remember this truth. You don't overcome life by escaping struggle. You overcome it by mastering it. When you feel like giving up again, pause, breathe, and remember who you're becoming. You are building a mind that endures, a heart that doesn't panic, and a spirit that cannot be broken. So here's your challenge. When that voice whispers quit, don't argue with it. Just take the next step again and again and again. Because this is how strength is built, not in comfort, but in the fire you refuse to run from.